Hi, I'm Orkun, and today I will be talking about the story of a Turkish game developer studio that has been founded by a too young person who was just graduated from college, TaleWorlds Entertainment. Like I said, TaleWorlds Entertainment has been founded by a young Turkish couple, Armağan and İlbey. He was just an ordinary student at the Bilkent University. He studied computer engineering, and after he got his master's degree, then he started on his doctorate. After a while he started university, he developed a hobby, and he got his wife into it. They started a little project at their garage, and just as his hobby, he started developing a game called Mountain Blade. The game was about a story that you would decide how it will flow as a bannerlord in medieval times. He invested his free time on this project. It was an indie game. He didn't thought this project would be a hit, but he continued spending time on it anyways. Him at coding and his wife at graphic design. After a while, he started to think that the game he is developing is growing to be something good. He published copies of the game even though it was at alpha stage. People who played the alpha stage of the game were so surprised by the result of only a couple of people's work that they decided to support them economically. He and his little team started to sell e-copies of the beta version of the game, which funded the development of their first game via online sales income. So at 2005, he changed his idea about doctorate and created a company with his wife İlbey, TaleWorlds Entertainment. After they got the fund to develop the game full-time, they started updating the beta version of the game to be a better project. 3 years later, at 2008, they released the full version of the game, and it blew up. It sold more than 1 million copies in only 1 year, and 7 million copies in 10 years. This might sound like nothing compared to the games that came out these days, but at those times, an indie game from Turkey selling 1 million copies was a biggie, and not just for Turkey, but globally. It was one of the first indie games that sold over 1 million copies that came out before 2010. After Mountain Blade came out, people played and liked what they played. The game had something that bonded the player to its world, but TaleWorlds thought that the game still is missing something that would not just bond the player to its world, but make them stay inside of it, live in it. So they started to work on another project, Mountain Blade Warband. The game came out in 2010, and it had a lot of overwhelmingly positive critics. And don't just take my word for it, look at it. The people who played the Warband loved it, and even still are enjoying it. Players even made some downloadable contents for the game to play other scenarios such as Neapolitic Wars and Viking Conquest, which took time at Neapolitic Wars and Saxon Wars, as the name says. TaleWorlds even started to develop a sequel for the Warband. They've announced it in 2012, but after the Viking Conquest came out in 2014, TaleWorlds had become quiet. But that wasn't the end. After 8 years of silence, at 2020, TaleWorlds released the beta of their new game, Mountain Blade Bannerlord. Even the beta of the game sold 5 million copies over a month, and the current sold copies of the Bannerlord is over 20 million, and that shows us the development of not just the game, but the people who invested everything they got to a project. At first, he was just an only guy who graduated from college, but now he's the CEO of a company that is worth multi-millions of dollars. This is what could become if someone just makes a move, starts something new, tries something, so he or she could say that, I did it. Why that person wouldn't be you? What do you say? Let's make our own business.